Weather Lab. Here's Daniel's True View forecast.
Welcome back, everyone. Before we get started, did want to mention you're going to hear a lot about Harvey over the next couple of days, and it is very easy to get caught up in fatigue and to think I've heard of this storm so many times, and it, as hard as it can be, is important to make sure that you stay on top of this forecast. It is a system that will sit for days and days and days, and as those days go on, eventually going to start seeing those impacts here in Acadiana. That being said, we start with the talk of the town, and that is Tropical Storm Harvey that's out in central parts of Texas right now. Heavy rainfall ongoing out through the Houston area. You can see the rain bands stretch all the way through up into eastern parts of Texas. That has even spilled over into Louisiana. We've seen some of those bands ourselves. Very heavy tropical showers at times, and those are going to continue to sweep through. Now, while we're not seeing the heaviest rainfall, which is associated with the center of the storm, there are a couple of different problem areas that we are going to experience, most notably of which is going to be out in eastern portions of Texas and extreme west Louisiana, where some of these squalls have had very quick spin-up tornadoes. In fact, we've seen multiple tornado warnings up all along eastern parts of Texas today. While this hasn't necessarily extended out into Acadiana, that could change here over the coming days. I think for tonight, though, what we're going to have to wait for is we'll just see some of these showers passing by at times, very heavy rain, the focus of which has been down through southwestern portions of the state. You're talking Cameron Parish, Calcasieu, and then getting up over into Vernon and even Beauregard Parish, where they're dealing with some of that wet weather as well. There are some watches. There are some warnings that are in effect. You've got a coastal flood advisory that's going to remain in effect along the coastline. The areas that are shaded in green, this is going to be a flash flood watch. This is with us through the majority of the week. I think over the coming days, eventually you're going to see this watch expand out to include other portions of Acadiana as well. I would imagine that by the time we get into the beginning of the work week, Monday, Tuesday, Acadia Parish will see it, as well as Lafayette. And then the red outline box, that's going to be your tornado watch. I would expect these to continue as well up through the next several days. As I mentioned, these squalls will contain tornadoes at times. They're very quick. They're very small. Little spin-up tornadoes. The radar can't always pick them up. So if these squalls start coming through, make sure that you are paying attention to everything that's going on. We've got some showers that are ongoing right now, most of which has been westwards of Lafayette. But you're going to have to watch and see if these things start training over and over and over again. That's where you're going to have the flooding threat. Right now, most of that has been contained to southwestern portions of the state from Cameron, and then extreme rainfall out into eastern parts of Texas. But we're so close to all of these impacts from the heaviest rainfall that's out in Texas. We are going to see the rain, that's for sure, but how much is going to vary a lot on this track. And if it wobbles just a little bit eastwards or a little bit westwards, that's going to have major implications on our forecast. And that's why it's so important not to get burned out from this storm. At this point, we've been talking about Harvey going back to several weeks ago when it was still just a wave down in the Caribbean. And a lot of people, I think, over the next couple of days are going to start to get tired of it. But you really do have to keep paying attention each and every day to the forecast. We got more showers on the way for tomorrow. Those tropical bands are going to continue to work their way through. Not actually thrilled with the way WeatherCast looks. I think WeatherCast missing the boat here, but it is picking up on a lot of rainfall, and that's the important part to take away from this forecast. That getting into Monday, Tuesday, even all the way through into Wednesday, we're going to see round after round after round of rainfall. When all is said and done, we could be looking at rain totals anywhere from about 7 to 12, 8 to 12 inches worth of rain. That's going to be over a 7-day time period, though. So there is the possibility that you could see some localized flooding for sure, especially if you start to see those bands moving through the same neighborhoods over and over and over again. That's what we're going to have to worry about. The rest of the impacts from Harvey, though, do seem to be a little more limited than what we were potentially looking at. Here's a quick look at some of that rainfall potential. The numbers that you're seeing coming out of Texas right now, almost unimaginable. I think if we wouldn't have gone through August last year, we would have a hard time comprehending it, but you can see just how close we are to some of those higher numbers. Again, we're going to go anywhere from 8 to 12 inches over the next 7 days. For tonight, 75 degrees, 60% chance for those showers. Those tropical showers are going to move through. Remember, they come in waves. It's not going to be a continuous, steady, never-ending type pattern, but It is going to be soggy, and it's going to be soggy for quite some time. A lot of clouds, not going to get much sunshine here over the next couple of days. Here's what we've got on tap for the week. We're just going to run 80% chances basically through the rest of the week. As Harvey moves, I would imagine these numbers change, but in the meantime, Harvey's sitting and spinning. Unbelievable amounts of rainfall expected for Texas. We're going to be rather soggy ourselves. Each little move with Harvey could change our forecast, and that's why it's important to stay on top of it.
All right, thanks, Daniel. Still to come on Acadiana's News Channel at 6.